Hello, my name is Phil. I am running for first year student councilor, and for those who don't know me, I am a student majoring in economics here at Mount Allison. Now the big question is, why do I think that I would be a good candidate for first year student council? I'm 20 years old, so I'm a little bit older than most first years, and this is because I did French immersion at a university in Nova Scotia for a year, where I encountered a lot of these challenges that are very typical when you're a first year student. I noticed how it was to be away from home for the first time, how it was trying to meet new friends. All these things I've already encountered, and I can forecast them when making these decisions in the council. I'm also making a promise to stay very present so that we can engage in discussions and you can come with comments or questions so that I can be a very good connection between the first year students and the council. I also have a lot of experience from being in the Red Cross back home, where I became a member of the board of Red Cross in my city, and together with 8 other people, we represented nearly 4,000 volunteers. And the people I was working with were all very passionate about their work. They've been in Red Cross for 30, 40 years, and they were very passionate about things and issues that were in Red Cross. So obviously, when I was raising these issues and asking these questions, I really needed to stand my ground in order to make sure that they wouldn't just, or that it was really important to stand your ground, because they were so passionate that they would discuss with you anyways. So I believe that with this ability of standing my ground, and if I bring this to the MASU Council, we can together make this a very fun, a very productive, and very safe year for all of us.
I believe I have a lot of experience to help represent first years. In grade 10, I was our student council's grade 10 rep, and in grade 11 and grade 12, I served as vice president and president for my high school. I've always enjoyed taking action as a leader, and I've had my fair share of those roles. But what I think is most important to share is how I will represent you. The way I hope to represent the first years is as someone who is fun, hardworking, and approachable. It is important to me that I'm someone who is relatable to the class and represents who we really are. So you might be asking, hey Molly, how are you going to represent our class? And I'd say, I will do everything in my power to make our first year of university as enjoyable as possible. I promise I won't just be a representative, but your friend. You can come to me with any of your concerns and I'll be there. I know our first year of university will be extremely nerve-wracking, but I hope to help lead everyone to success. So what sets me apart? Perhaps the fact that I'm at least a foot shorter than the rest of the candidates. My ability to have a good time, but also work hard. And if there's one thing I'd like everyone to take away from this quick speech, is that I really like dogs. Just kidding. What you should really take away is that I'm a kind-hearted leader who would love to be your first year counselor. Please take everything I said into consideration and choose the person that is best for you. Thank you.
That reading carefully crafted words that I wrote up the other day, Microsoft Word would come off as insincere, which is what I do not want to convey to you. What I want to convey to you is that I'm a man of absolute sincerity. When I make someone a promise, when I tell someone I'm going to do something, and when I commit myself to something, I do so with the utmost intention of seeing it through. It will be no different if I'm elected first year counselor. And man, I really should have wrote in the speech, written, sorry. It will be no different if I'm elected first year counselor. And now the time comes again where I feel obligated to pursue my passion of representing a group of people that I care deeply about, as I have done with 11th and 12th grade student council representative, assistant to my mother's charity, ARC, Acts of Random Kindness, and a military school platoon leader. And I believe that these positions qualify me to be a great representative for the first year class, the class of 2020. And I believe that these positions will enable me to bring a level of energy and interaction never seen before in the Student Council. Thank you.
So thank you for all showing up here tonight. I know that the room was empty a few minutes before we started. My name is Everett Patterson, and I'm a first-year student here at Mount Allison University, currently studying in the sciences. Now, I think that all the people who have come up and all the people here in the room and those who are currently on councils are good counselors. I think that having been involved in student council at school and other such things makes for a good person, and you need those people on council. I have had my fair bit of experience. Actually, over the past year, I was president of 3 school committees. I have been part of the student council at my school. I was on 3 athletic teams in parallel to that. I have garnered multiple awards, national and international, for my artistic, athletic, and academic achievements, if you will. But I will not be satisfied with being just a good counselor. I think there's more to being a counselor, and I want to be a great counselor. Now, what sets me apart from the good counselors is diversity. I have a great amount of diversity, and diversity is something that Mount Allison believes in. That is why it is a liberal arts university. Although I am studying sciences, I believe in taking economics and literature classes to be well-versed. I am diverse, being bilingual from Moncton, having spent a year over in Europe, being new and not understanding what is going on around me. I know there are international students here who are feeling just like that, so I can represent them. I can represent the people who are here to learn, because I am here to learn too. I value education. As a matter of fact, I was among the top marked students in my high school. I also believe in the athletics. Although it's tantrum hour right now outside, I know what it is like to be a varsity Mountie being on the men's soccer team. I'm also interested in artistic stuff. I was playing trombone in our jazz and concert ensembles in my high school, and unfortunately could not fit it in my schedule over here at Mount A due to my varsity soccer implication. Now, all these things bring for diversity, and diversity is needed on councils because they are what brings a different perspective to the field of play, creating a better council for better student life. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you all for coming tonight. I really appreciate that you've chosen to spend the evening here. My name is Matt Roberts, and I'm running for councillor at large. I'm a second-year international relations student from Vancouver, BC. In my first year here at Mount A, I got involved in the MASU through an ad hoc committee on first-year engagement. Being involved in a MASU committee was a great experience for me, and it gave me new insight into how the union operates. It also led me to thinking about how I could become more involved within it, which is why I'm standing here today. I'm involved in many different activities on campus, from Model United Nations, where I'm on the executive team and chief of operations for the upcoming Model UN conference here in Sackville, to volunteering as a yellow shirt this past orientation week, and also as a Shinorama rep for my residence, Campbell Hall. I'm also a crazy soccer fan and co-host a soccer radio show on CHMA, our campus radio station. You should all check it out on Fridays at 4. I may only be a second year at this university, but I feel I could bring a lot to the MASU Council and to the committees in which I would participate. I am told that I'm able to listen carefully and recognize the central issues of a problem and how they connect together. The other skill I believe I possess is how to put this recognition of the big picture into action. These two skills, recognition and initiative, I believe, are two sides of the same coin, and with them, I will be able to contribute a lot to the MASU Council. One of the things that I enjoy most in this university setting is the diversity of people that I get to meet, and hearing the stories of their lives. My personal experience has been that we all have difficulties that we have to work through, and I want to be helpful in connecting you to the services that you need. We don't always know the trials and tribulations of people who have come to this university and what it took for them to get here. I believe that to be in a position of leadership, one must be responsible for all of those one represents. That responsibility can mean different things to different people, but to me, it means that no matter what, I will work hard for all of you, for all students at this university. I believe that between the leadership positions that I have held and continue to hold here on campus, my understanding of problem solving, my commitment to the students of this university, all demonstrate that I will be an excellent choice for Counselor at Large, and that I will serve the students of this university to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Molly Anderson. I'm a first-year Bachelor of Music student, and I'm from just outside of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm a proud Windsorite. I'm running for position of Counselor at Large. So I'll start by answering the question that's come up since I've decided to run for this position is, as a first year, why am I not running for first-year Counselor? So first years make up about the fourth of the student population, but have the opportunity to make up very little of the elected student union. In choosing to run outside of the first year election, I'll be working hopefully to have more representation for my class. I've also never been one to stray away from a challenge. The idea of running in a larger pool of students presented a great opportunity to better my leadership skills as well as my communication skills. With all of that said, don't be deceived by my younger age. I have the experience and drive needed to hold positions such as this. I've been working with student politics and leadership quite extensively for the past 3 years. I am currently the elected president of the Nova Scotia Secondary School Students Association, also known as the NSSA, a non-profit organization that teaches servant leadership skills through inspiration and demonstration. As president, I oversee the function of the organization across Nova Scotia and help enable the teaching of leadership skills to high school students and talk about the importance of leadership. Taking on this responsibility has taught me dedication, professionalism, and honesty, all things necessary to be a productive member of a union. I'm the past vice president of my school's student government, where I was an advocate for the student body. I worked to make sure all voices of the students were heard, and I will use the skills I acquired there to be an excellent counselor. I'm approachable, hardworking, and I love to talk. I will always make myself available to the students here whom I'm hoping to represent. In order to do a position such as this one justice, you have to be dedicated and hardworking. You have to listen to the students, be open and accepting. You have to pay attention to what the school and the students need and what they want to improve students' experience. I would do all of these things and more if given the opportunity. I believe strongly in the power and importance of student politics, and that strong involvement is what makes the school great. Though I've only been here for 2 weeks, I have fallen in love with Manet, and if given the chance to represent the students here, I will work extraordinarily hard to do right by this fantastic school. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Kay Clapman. I'm a third-year music and psych student. I'm running for Counselor at Large. I was going to start with a joke, but then I realized I couldn't find one corny enough, which is a sad state of events. This summer I worked as a lifeguard and a swim teacher, and there was this one kid who wouldn't do front crawl unless I told her jokes. And I had to look up all these PG, appropriate jokes, and they were just terrible. And then she blew my mind with the whole, rode in on the horse on Friday thing. So I decided I wouldn't. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you about the Counselor at Large position and why you should consider voting for me. I think it's most important to talk about the things that I would do if I had the position. I've been at Mount A for 3 years and I've done some interesting stuff. I was the AD in Hunton, formerly known as SRA, as well as being a music student, which is quite a lot. And I thought that I would tell you a little bit instead about what I'd like to do in the position. So as a Counselor at Large, you're required to sit on at least 2 committees. And I took a look at the list of committees and I found 2 that kind of stuck out, and the first one was student life. And I think student life is an opportunity to get more involved in the issue of RA compensation, which is something I worked on last year with Brian. And I think there's been progress made and there continues to be room for growth. So that's something I'd like to do. And the other one was academic affairs. And what kind of stuck out to me in the description of academic affairs was the element of accessibility, academic accessibility, but also I think that extends to accessibility on campus in general. And I'm a proud member of the Association for Chronically Ill and Disabled Students. And I think it's very important that we continue to work on ensuring that all academic programs for Mount Allison students are accessible, both academically and physically. I realized that if I had some kind of disability and I wanted to be a music student, I couldn't come to Mount A. So that's something that I'm really interested in working on. There's also, I looked at the Social Justice Committee, and there are just a lot of opportunities for real development and growth, and so I would really appreciate if you could consider me for this position. I'm sorry about the joke. If anybody has suggestions, please come up to me afterwards. I'm really desperate. But in the meantime, thank you so much for coming out tonight and giving your time to this, and I hope you have a fabulous evening.
I'm Emily Gatchell, and I am running to be a Counselor at Large. I am a proud Nova Scotian and a fourth-year Bachelor of Commerce student minoring in psychology. But I'm actually, like many Mount Allison students, I spend a lot of time in class, at the library, as well as participate in clubs and societies. This is great, but time-consuming. It makes it hard to stay up to date on what is happening outside of the Sackville bubble, and many things happening inside, like all the different speakers, events, and meetings. But I believe in helping each other. As a counselor, let me help you to keep up with everything happening at Mount A and in our student union. I'll communicate the relevant details to you so that you can be more informed and make decisions. Because I also believe in a balance. Just like taking distribution courses helps us to be more well-rounded and knowledgeable people, I think that attending a variety of events, like all the speeches and events and meetings, help us to learn and grow. But I understand that it isn't possible to go to everything, and so here is where I ask you to trust me, to communicate with you and for you on council. Trust me to tell you what is happening and what subjects are being discussed. Trust me to listen to your issues and concerns and to pass along that information. Trust me to fight for you. My past experiences here at Mount A have prepared me to take on this responsibility. To name a few, I've been a yellow shirt, a member of the Commerce Society Executive, and a social chair in Campbell Hall. I'm currently on the Women in Leadership Executive, as well as a campus ambassador. And all of these positions have allowed me to work with students, the MASU, and faculty members. And now I want to work with you to represent your best interests to improve student life. In my final year here, there is nothing that I would rather do than represent my fellow students and leave Mount A better than I discovered it. Thank you all for coming out tonight and listening. I hope that you'll vote for me next week and allow me to return the favor. If you have any questions about my campaign or would like to learn more, feel free to visit my Facebook event. Thank you.